I'll let you have a credit card. So let you go do what you need to do a little bit. It was don't get me wrong. She had a limit on it, but I remember at one point I had to tell her, "Hey, pause before you go to the next place."
First of all, okay, you ain't gonna put me out there. Number one, I was not spending your money. Namdi was paying for my nails, y'all.
Yeah,
that's it.
Definitely. Hey, I wanted her.
Well, he paid for my nails. He immediately bought me a new phone, bought me some Beats headphones. Like, you was going harder to paint a little bit, but like as far as me just swiping your card, I was not, and I was driving your car too, though.
You was driving my car.
That's crazy. You was tripping, babe.
I was. I was like, boy, she had me. I ain't gonna lie. She had me gone. But I also knew, being in a relationship for long enough, I knew in my head we were gonna be married. I knew that from the beginning, based off of my non-negotiables, all those things.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I did. This is an Iwebu production.
Period. So, me and Babe were watching Social Proof podcast, and that's with David Shands and Donnie Wiggins.
Yes.
And a question came up that I thought was pretty cool to talk about because I feel like we fell in it a little bit, and I actually want to pick your brain on it. So, the question is, do you think it's important for men to be mindful and make sure the woman that they're pursuing is financially astute? Someone
who's doing pretty
decent, know what credit is, know how to debt, all of those things. Do you think it matters that his woman is that way as well?
So I kind of I can say that we can somewhat relate on this subject. I'll bring it full circle, but when TK and I first met, she was, I believe you still was at your mom's place.
Absolutely.
Right. You was at your mom's place. She was grown, but she was staying there, which that's a whole nother subject. I think that most people should stay at their mama house maybe till they get married a lot of times. So
wait, what?
Like people that's in their 20s, early 20s, they always trying to get out into the world and trying to be grown too quick. And
that
it's
was
like,
not my goal.
Nah, you was like gonna be there, stack your bread, do all that. That's a whole.
I got ate up for saying that.
Oh yeah, by the way,
y'all, TikTok don't like me.
Yeah, TikTok is going hard. Like,
TikTok does not like me. I have so much love on Instagram, but every time I go on TikTok, people are calling me a pick me, choose me girl. Yeah. I'm like, y'all, that's my life. I did not want to go get my own apartment and go live on my own and like be struggling and trying to pay bills. That was not my dream. I knew I was going from my parents' house to my husband's house. That's what I knew.
I love it. And I believe, and that's the same thing that I want my daughters to do. I'm like, listen,
we're not kicking them out.
We're not kicking you out the house. Unfortunately, and I know it's taking a different route, but
I know.
Unfortunately, African American, this is what happens on Pillow Talk of the Way Boots. This is what happens is we bring in the bedroom right to the podcast. This is what we would do. But unfortunately, we have this thing in African American culture where as soon as they turn 18, you getting out the house.
College.
Like that's what
they
we
don't
do.
know what they want to go to college for.
I'm not saying this is everyone, but for the most part, I would probably say about 9 out of 10 households, a lot of times it was like that. I know it was like that in my house. My mama said, "Hey, if you ain't in school, whatever, you got to go. You got to get up out. You grown. You better go ahead and do what you need to do."
Dang.
So when I no longer was going to school, which you thought I did, I jumped out quick.
And then you go to these Indians and Mexican houses and it be 50 people in there. And no shade. I think that's smart as heck. We got people right around here. Like, how many people live up in that mud?
Building
communities.
Yeah, communities.
Real estate.
Shoot, they getting their money right.
Yeah.
And even in our neighborhood, just to say about the Indian culture, I'm seeing something where literally it's almost like they bought the whole neighborhood at the same time. They all know each other too.
They all know each other.
I'm like, dang, so they know them up the street and they know each other right here. Man, they probably family. They probably was living in the same households. Who knows? I'm not saying that but most of the times what I've seen from other cultures is they'll stay in that household. They'll stack their cash up. They'll get their credit right. They'll even go in all together on a business and build that business up and won't just say, okay, now we making hundreds and thousands of dollars. Now let's go do our thing. No, they will build together a lot of times. And so I think that we just kick out our kids overall, not just young girls, but kids overall, just a little bit too quick. I don't know if you want to say something before I kind of jump more into the story, but back to with TK and I. So she was coming fresh out of being in her mother's house. She was, just turning 22. all of that, and she didn't really know a lot about money. And myself at this time, I'm an assistant manager on my way to being a full retail manager there, and I'm doing pretty decently well when it came to it. And so bringing her into the fold.
I just want to say this because I remember hearing rumors like you had a big house. You had.
My gosh.
I remember.
How did that even come? I don't know.
I'm like, why did people know your business?
I don't know.
And how did it get to me?
I do not know. That's a very good question.
That's
I still
crazy.
don't know.
You must have been. You had to tell somebody.
I told somebody that like at that time, my sister had moved to Houston, and they basically left their house for me to live in.
I'm just trying to figure out who did you tell that got to me. But go ahead. I'm sorry. They was like,
yeah,
they puffed Namdi up.
Yeah, it was a whole big old house, and I had some other homies that were supposed to move in, and that didn't happen, and whatever. But yeah, people knew about that. So I was doing pretty decent when it came to finances, and you basically knew nothing about it. I mean, to the point that I remember at some time I had let you go when we first met, and y'all looking at me like y'all gonna look at me crazy like he a trick, or something like. But I let you have a credit card, so let you go do what you need to do a little bit. It was don't get me wrong, she had a limit on it, but I remember at one point I had to tell her, hey, pause before you go to the next place.
First of all, okay, you ain't gonna put me out there. Number one, I was not spending your money. Namdi was paying for my nails, y'all. Yeah. That's it.
Definitely. Hey, I wanted her.
Well, he paid for my nails. He immediately bought me a new phone, bought me some Beats headphones. Like, you was going harder to paint a little bit. Well, but like, as far as me just swiping your card, I was not. And I was driving your car too, though.
You was driving my car.
That's crazy. You was tripping, babe.
I was. I was like, boy, she had me. I ain't gonna lie. She had me gone. But I also knew, being in relationships long enough, I knew in my head if
we were going to get married.
That we were going to get married. Yes. I knew that from the beginning, just based off of my non-negotiables, all those things.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I did. We wanted to pause for just a moment to let you all know we have created a way for you guys to partner with us with our Patreon community launch.
Yes, look, have y'all been enjoying the gems, the conversations, the transparency, baby? We've been putting our whole life on this camera. And if you have been enjoying it, we are creating an opportunity for you to partner with us because we want to be able to create at the highest level of excellence, and that requires resources. And that is where you come in. We have created a tier as low as $5 a month, y'all. $5. $5. So if you would like to partner with us, just simply click the link in the description box, and we hope to see you over there.
I knew that it was some other things I need to just make sure that you were really ready. I knew I was ready, but really like, okay, are you really ready for what we about to walk down into? But back to it. So I believe with a lot of times with most, and I will also say this.
You were at the credit card.
Yeah, so credit card doing that had to make her pause when it came to it. And eventually as time going on, I found out that you were the free spirit. Like you kind of more of that. If some of you guys have ever been through Dave Ramsey program, you may know what the free spirit is. That means that she's more prone to actually go and shop. Not saying she doesn't do nothing crazy, but sometimes she just goes. She's ready to just get it done. That's like, forget it. Money ain't a thing. If she's with somebody that's just like her, they probably would go and probably rack up crazy amounts of debt. But with me, like they probably would. And it's not saying that she's crazy, irresponsible, but she's like, man, let's get it done. Like, stop worrying about it. Me, I'm thinking about numbers all the time.
Yeah.
Like, when I see something,
when I with Yoda, he was like, "Do it and clean up the mess later."
Yeah, because he's got the same mindset as you. I bet he's the like, free
let's
spirit.
Go, clean up later.
And Yoda's, that's what our good friends. Shout out to Yoda and Gabby.
That was so fun. I'm like, that's literally what my mind thinks. Like, if I have a good idea, it's like $5,000. Well, let's do it. We'll figure it out.
I'm like, hold on, whoa.
Yeah.
So how is this gonna make sense? I gotta do the numbers.
He need to see how we're gonna get the money back.
I'm the numbers guy.
Yeah, you are.
That's when it comes to. I'm the numbers guy. But overall, I will tell you this. I don't believe that it matters that much because men, way I see things and the way I believe that God would see it is that men, we are the head of the household, meaning that we should also be the ones a lot of times as leading in the front when it comes to working. Like, we should be the ones who a lot of times are probably the breadwinners.
You coming for the boss lady?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay with you being if that's how I met you.
Right.
Like if I had met you and you was making good and that's what you wanted to do, then I'm good with that. I'm okay with that to an extent because to be honest with you, I thought you were going to get back to working. Kind of reverse. She was working when I met her. Mm-hmm. She was on the track. They were asking her to go into management and all that. But then she ended up getting pregnant.
Right. And so I was in like labor. Yeah. Like I was in, what's it called?
Yeah, you was like, I guess, hard labor.
Yeah.
I was so like, I was looking at you like, you're too pretty to be doing that.
I love that job though.
It was like,
and it was overnight.
Yeah, you loved it.
I did.
So even though I took the front seat when it came to the finances, I knew that, let me say this. I went into the relationship not thinking that I was going to be the main one making all the bread. Like I had it in my mind before I met you that me and whoever I end up marrying were both going to work because I was in financial advising for a minute. I seen a lot of guys who were the breadwinner and the wife was staying at home and they was crazy broke. They was crazy broke and the solution would come down to, hey, here's the solution. Y'all need more money. She gonna need to go work. Y'all gonna need to do something about that. And so I didn't want to be in that sort of nightmare when it came to it. But I knew eventually that you would come through and definitely it was an investment that eventually your career would start making some finances and all of those things. And so I'm good with the man taking the lead. And also, but the woman needs to be his biggest cheerleader.
Yes.
His biggest cheerleader. I will tell you right now that I guess I will be what you call a high value man based off of the
Why
income.
You do this?
I guess because wasn't that coined by I think Kevin Samuels or something.
It don't matter.
Rest in peace to Kevin Samuels. Yeah. But I believe it was coined. I guess the high value man. Whenever you make a certain amount, and I'm not saying I'm
Babe,
rich out here.
This man.
I don't want people to think like this man got a bunch of money.
It doesn't matter, but you are a good man and you are a high value man and you work hard and you're a great father and you do make a certain amount of money. That is considered being a high value man. So you don't have to disclaim against.
I'm what you call a high value man.
There you go.
Point blank. Period.
Yes.
So I'm a high value man, but I'm only that because you pushed me to it. Like when you met me, let's just say I was hovering around 80, close to around 80,
right,
thousand a year, but you're cheerleading. I remember the first time I had an interview that was going for a manager position, and I didn't feel like I was ready. I didn't feel like I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, I don't feel like I'm ready. And you was like, babe, yes you are. You're a manager. That's who you are. Like you started to speak me, and just your belief in me was like. I am. I went into that mug and I did great. It was at that first interview. I don't think it was my time just yet, but a few months later, I became a full retail manager. So if your woman is going to take the back seat, I feel like
and your salary,
it
grew.
Yeah, and my salary grew. It continued to grow.
Yes,
and I believe that, and this is for the ladies. I believe that your man's next level in income is in your mouth. You can affirm him to the hundreds of thousands, or you can dog him and make him feel like he's not barely doing nothing or he's not cutting it. Okay? Affirm that man daily. When y'all see her having those clips talking about she calling me Big Daddy, this big man, boy. Let me tell you, that got me steamed up. I'm like, okay, because it's like when I step into something, I step into a situation at work or whatever, it's like I got somebody who really believe in me at home. I got to make this happen. I got to go in here and kill it. I got to be the top salesman that there is because I got this woman who truly believes in me and I got to go deliver. So no, I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with a woman coming in not really being as much, I guess, astute, as long as she's willing to learn.
Well, I will also say, babe, you also have a history of finances and like being knowledgeable in that as well. So I know a lot of men will be like, heck no, she need to come in, right? Like even you having a fear of me not working, someone who wasn't as educated financially as you were is going to be even more fearful. But you had the backing, and it was almost like God was giving you an opportunity to apply the knowledge that you've gained over the years, because you had the knowledge, but it's like, okay, well, now I know how. I know how to do debt stacking. I know how to do the snowball. I know how to do, you know what I'm saying? I know how much we need to make. And just to say this as well, a lot of times you don't make more money just because the wife is going and leaving the home, because you have to pay for daycare. So when we added up how much it took for both of our kids to go to daycare, both cars traveling 2 places a day, gas, insurance, all the maintenance on the cars, when we calculated all of that, it equaled the same. So I might as well just stay home, work a business at home. And then I started getting shows and started making money through music and, different gigs and stuff like that. And so it gave me the freedom. The beautiful thing is it gave me the freedom to create the opportunities for us to be free ultimately, because we would have just both been in the rat race. That's it.
And I've always fought for you, because the rat race and being at a job has been like jail to me.
Yeah.
Like, don't get it wrong. It is my investment partner into what we do. So my job, I started to look at my job. It's my investment partner. That's how I look at my job now. But still, it's still like a jail, because it holds captive a lot of times your goals and dreams. A lot of times it holds captive those things that God really wants you to go and create, and you can't do it when you're working and giving most of your energy to someone else's 9-to-5 job and doing and building their dream when it comes to it. So.
So overall, I just want to say, like, those of you that are afraid too, I get in some cases like you have to, but so a lot of times men and women don't even try, like husband and wife don't even try for the wife to be at home. Just see. Do a little 3, 4, 5 month experiment and see what can happen. But like you said, it also requires the woman building up her man and y'all praying, and your man going out after opportunities that he can, grow and gain more salary and all of those different type of things. But yeah, I knew I wasn't going to work at least the first year or the second year.
And we had that agreement.
Yes. When I got pregnant, I was like, I can't send my kid to school when she's 3 months. Can't talk to me. Don't know nothing. So I said, give me like a year or two. And then the year after, I had another baby.
Yeah. And so, then it was like, all right.
Well, okay. So at that point, I had been home for 3 years, because I was pregnant for 9 months, had a baby. That was 1 year, so that's almost 2 years. Pregnant again, 9 months, that's 3 years. The other baby, so 4 years. It's like you started making more money.
Yeah, and we had to step out really on faith. Yes. To be honest with you, because it wasn't what we planned. It wasn't what we wanted to do. I remember working with this guy, and he was a manager at one of the stores. And it was, I remember it's Blaine actually. And Blaine, he was the breadwinner. He was the only one working. His wife was a stay-at-home. And this is before I even met you or anything. I'm like, bro, how do you do that? He's just like, you just do it. Yeah. He was like, I mean, you just go ahead and you do it, and then you just make it happen. Yeah. And that's literally what happened with us. Is that I started doing it, and then I was like, wow, God, you took care of all of our needs.
And you're making more money.
And it actually helped out more, because we would have been, you trying to go, who gonna pick up the kids and be frustrated? Then how about dinner for and all that? Ooh, man, it worked out so great. Jesus. I came home. House clean. You make food. You keep. Oh my gosh, you make a house feel like a home so much.
Food ready.
Thank God, food was ready. Kids was good at home.
Nurtured.
Yeah, nurtured.
They see their mom.
They get to see their mom.
Yeah, that was a big deal, and I know this is way off.
Yeah, but this might be for somebody that
it kind of isn't at the same time. Yeah. Like, y'all, I do not. I mean, like the nurturing that our kids are so loved. I was gonna say spoiled, but no, they are loved. Really like the amount of attention and time that in quality time that we've had with our kids to just go on the deck and sit outside with them and be in the backyard and not be, especially once you started working from home. We've been like this since you've been working from home.
COVID.
Since COVID. Overall, I think it takes you got to actually have faith, though. Like, you really got to be rocking with God to do something. It was a bold move, but it was the best move we could have made. And I definitely wasn't aware financially of anything. I never paid a bill in my life, literally. Not a phone bill, nothing. And so I knew like either you're going to have to teach me or you're going to have to be okay with me just not knowing.
We got our what works for y'all works for y'all.
Yeah.
Point blank period. We're not saying that, we're not generalizing this, saying that this is for everybody.
No.
Or whatever. I believe that it's probably the most optimal for most relationships. It shows, I think it was over 65% or so of married women that are working would like to be at home if they could. So keep that, think about that. That may help you guys out. But what do you guys think about this? I mean, do you think that a woman needs to be on the same level, especially if you're a high value man? I love to hear, what do you think? Do a woman need to come in making the same money as you or not? Women, what do y'all think about it? Please let us know in the comments below. Hey, thank you for making it to the end of this video. If you could do us a huge favor, please hit that like button and please subscribe.
Yes, and please do not forget to hit that notification bell. We need y'all to be locked in every single time we drop this fire content.
Yes.
Also, we need y'all to follow us on all social media platforms at the Ewaybos. And look, we will see y'all on the next video.
Holla.